Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen and enjoy my stories every day. Social media is a strange thing. It can bring people closer together or tear them apart, all with the click of a button. For weeks now, I've noticed something unsettling about my wife, Agatha. It began innocently enough, a casual comment here, a like there. But as the days turned into weeks, the frequency of her interactions with a particular man on both Facebook and Instagram became more pronounced. At first, I thought nothing of it. Just a friend, I reasoned. Maybe someone from her yoga class or a coworker. But then the comments became overly personal, even flirtatious. "You always know how to make me smile," and "can't wait for our next adventure together." My stomach knotted every time I saw those words flashing on my screen. I tried to brush it off, telling myself I was being paranoid. After all, Agatha was the love of my life, my best friend, and I had no reason to suspect her of infidelity. Yet, the doubt gnawed at me. I decided it was time to dig deeper. The next evening, after a long day at work, I confronted Agatha. "Hey, I've noticed you've been chatting a lot with Derek lately." "Who is he?" She paused, her eyes darting away from mine. "Just a friend from the gym," she replied, a little too quickly. "Really? Because it seems like you two are getting pretty close." "It's nothing," she insisted, but the hesitance in her voice made my heart race. I could feel the tension building between us, and it was suffocating. Feeling defeated, I decided to turn to her sister, Lena, for clarity. Lena and I had always had a good rapport. She was down to earth and had a knack for seeing through bullshit. I hoped she might shed some light on Agatha's relationship with this Derek. I called her the next day, and after exchanging pleasantries, I broached the topic. "Lena, can I ask you something? Have you heard anything about Agatha and Derek?" There was a pause on the other end of the line, a silence that spoke volumes. I wasn't going to say anything, but yes, I've noticed it too. They've been texting and commenting on each other's posts a lot. My heart sank. "Do you think it's just innocent?" "I'm afraid it's more than that. I overheard her talking to a friend the other day. They were talking about a date." "A date?" The word struck me like a physical blow. I gripped the edge of the table to steady myself, feeling the heat rise to my face. "Are you serious? She's cheating on me?" "I'm really sorry, I wish I had better news." I hung up the phone, feeling as though the ground had been ripped from beneath me. My heart raced, and my hands trembled with anger and disbelief. How could she do this to me? We had built a life together, shared dreams, hopes, and plans for the future. How could she betray me like this? The rage bubbled up within me, churning in dark. I felt a fierce need for revenge, to make her understand the pain she had caused me. The wheels began to turn in my mind, formulating a plan that would leave her feeling the same heartbreak I was experiencing. I spent the next few days in a haze of anger and disappointment, plotting my next move. Agatha had always been the one to control the narrative in our relationship. It was time to flip the script. One night, as I watched her scroll through her phone, giggling at something Derek had sent her, I made a decision. I would break her life as she had broken mine. I wouldn't just confront her, I would expose her, humiliate her, and ensure that she felt every ounce of betrayal I had felt. "I'll make you pay for this, Agatha," I muttered to myself, my heart racing with the thrill of impending retribution. Little did I know, the path I was choosing would lead to unforeseen consequences, ones that would change our lives forever. The intrigue of my revenge plan was only beginning to unfold, and I was determined to see it through. The next step was critical. I needed to gather evidence, to catch her in the act, and then, when the time was right, I would unleash my fury. And so, the game began. Days turned into a blur as I meticulously crafted my plan. My heart races every time I think of Agatha and Derek, the two of them sharing laughter and inside jokes that should belong to us. It's a twisted cocktail of anger and sadness that fuels me. I need to gather evidence, concrete proof that I can use to expose her betrayal. One Friday evening, I decide to put my plan into action. I leave work a little early, pretending I'm going to grab us dinner. Instead, I drive to the cafe where Agatha often meets Derek. I park a few blocks away, hiding my car behind a row of trees. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for what I'm about to witness. As I approach the cafe, I can feel my heart pounding in my chest. The sun is beginning to set, casting an orange glow over the building. I walk in casually, scanning the room for familiar faces. And there they are, Agatha and Derek, seated in a corner booth, leaning in close, their laughter echoing in my ears like a mocking chorus. I can't help but feel sick as I watch them. Agatha's head tilts back in laughter, her eyes sparkling in a way I haven't seen in months. Derek leans in closer, whispering something that makes her giggle. The image of her with him, so carefree and alive, ignites a fire in my chest. I pull out my phone, trying to act nonchalant, snapping a few pictures while pretending to scroll through social media. I focus on their table, capturing every intimate gesture, the way she brushes her fingers against his, the way they share food, the way she leans into him. I feel like a voyeur, but I push the guilt aside. I need this. After a few minutes, they stand up and move to the counter to order more drinks. I seize the opportunity to get closer. As they wait, I can hear snippets of their conversation, and it sends a chill down my spine. "I can't believe we're finally doing this," Derek says, his voice low but filled with excitement. "Yeah, it feels so freeing," Agatha replies, biting her lip and glancing up at him. "I've never felt this way with anyone before." My breath catches in my throat. The implications of her words hit me like a ton of bricks. Freeing. This is what she wants. My heart races with fury and heartbreak. I decide I can't wait any longer. I need to confront her now, while I have the proof. I step back, ready to leave, when suddenly, my phone buzzes. It's Lena. "Hey, did you find out anything?" she texts. I reply quickly, "Yeah. They're at the cafe together. I have photos." Lena responds almost immediately. "You need to show her. Don't let her get away with this." "I won't. I'm going to make her pay." I gather my thoughts, gripping my phone tightly, as I wait for Agatha and Derek to return to their table. After a moment, they approach the exit and I step outside, trying to look casual. I watch them walk down the street, fingers intertwined. "Agatha." I call out, forcing my voice to remain steady. They both turn to look at me, and I see the shock wash over her face. "What are you doing here?" she asks, her expression shifting to one of guilt. "I could ask you the same thing," I reply, my voice laced with venom. "You look like you're having a good time with Derek." "Daniel, it's not what it looks like," Agatha stammers, her facade crumbling. "Then what is it?" "Because from where I stand, it looks like you've been having a grand old time behind my back." Derek shifts uncomfortably, glancing at Agatha as if seeking guidance. "Maybe we should talk about this later," he suggests, trying to diffuse the tension. "No, we're going to talk about it now," I snap, my eyes narrowing on him. "You don't get to walk away from this." Agatha steps forward, desperation in her eyes. "Daniel, please, let's not do this here." "No, we're doing this right here, right now." I pull out my phone and show her the pictures. "How long has this been going on? You think I wouldn't notice?" She looks at the photos, her face paling. "I didn't mean for you to find out like this." "But you did, Agatha. And now you have to face the truth. You've betrayed me." Derek shifts his weight, clearly uncomfortable. "Maybe I should go," he mutters, taking a step back. "Yeah, maybe you should," I shoot back. "Get the hell out of here." As Derek walks away, Agatha's face contorts with a mix of anger and shame. "You have no idea what you're talking about. This isn't just about you and me anymore. I can't keep pretending. Pretending? You're the one who's been pretending, I hiss. I've been nothing but good to you, and this is how you repay me. She glances around nervously, as if the other patrons in the street can hear our conversation. Can we please talk about this somewhere private? No. This is public, just like your affair. Agatha's expression hardens. Fine. If that's how you want to play it. I turn and begin walking away, my heart pounding with the thrill of the confrontation, but the pain of betrayal still weighs heavily on me. I glance back over my shoulder to see her standing there, her expression a mix of regret and defiance. The night air feels heavy with unresolved tension, and as I walk away, I realize this is only the beginning. I have the proof I need, but the real battle has just begun. I can't help but feel a twisted sense of satisfaction. The tables have turned, and now it's time for Agatha to experience the consequences of her actions. As I head home, the plan for my retribution solidifies in my mind. This is just the first step, and I won't stop until I've shattered the world she built with her lies. The intrigue of my revenge is only just beginning, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. The night is thick with tension as I arrive home, my mind racing with thoughts of Agatha and Derek. The images of their intimacy play on repeat in my mind, fueling my anger. I grab a drink from the fridge, the cold glass a stark contrast to the heat boiling inside me. I can't let this go. I need to make her understand the depth of her betrayal. As I sip my drink, I pull out my phone again, scrolling through the photos I took earlier. Each snapshot tells a story of deceit and broken trust. I open a new message to Lena, my fingers flying over the screen. Got the evidence. Confronted Agatha tonight. She's definitely cheating. Lena's reply is almost instantaneous. You need to tell her how you feel. She needs to know the impact of her actions. I toss my phone aside, my mind swirling. I don't want to talk about feelings. I want to make her feel the same pain she's inflicted on me. But how? I've already exposed her, now I need to break her spirit. Suddenly, a plan forms in my mind. I'll turn the tables completely. I'll get Derek to confess to her, to show her just how serious this is. If I can manipulate the situation to my advantage, maybe she'll realize what she's lost. The next morning, I decide to pay a visit to Derek. I can't let this be a one-sided affair, he needs to understand he's as much to blame. I find his address online and drive over, my heart pounding with anticipation. As I pull into his driveway, I notice his car parked outside. It's a modest home, but I can tell he takes pride in it. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of my anger settle in my chest. I knock on the door, and a moment later, Derek answers, surprise etched across his face. Daniel? What are you doing here? Can we talk? I say, my voice low but firm. Yeah, sure. He steps aside, and I walk into his living room, my presence filling the space with a tense energy. What do you want? He asks, avoiding my gaze as he takes a seat. I choose my words carefully, wanting to strike just the right chord. You know what this is about. Agatha. His expression shifts, and I can see the guilt wash over him. Look, I didn't mean for it to happen. We were just what? Having fun. Playing with fire. I interrupt, my frustration boiling over. You're messing with my life, Derek. She's married. I get that, he says, running a hand through his hair. But it's complicated. Complicated? Is that how you justify it? You think I'm going to stand by and let you ruin my marriage? You've made your choice, but it doesn't end there. I want you to tell her the truth. He stares at me, confusion crossing his features. What do you mean? Tell her that you don't want to be in the shadows anymore. If you really care for her, make it public. I want her to see you for what you really are, someone who's willing to break apart a family for a fling. Derek's expression shifts again, this time to one of anger. You don't get to dictate my life. Agatha is an adult, she can make her own choices. And so can you, I reply, keeping my tone steady. But know this, if you don't come clean, I will make sure she knows exactly what's going on. I will expose you, and believe me, I have the means. He opens his mouth to protest but quickly closes it, the reality of my words sinking in. Okay, he finally says, his voice barely above a whisper. I'll talk to her. Just, don't make this worse. Worse? You think it can't get worse? You have no idea what she's put me through. I stand up, my anger simmering just beneath the surface. Do what you need to do, Derek. I'll be watching. As I leave his house, a sense of satisfaction washes over me. This is just the beginning. If Derek is going to come clean, then I need to prepare myself for the fallout. Agatha will undoubtedly lash out, I'll need to be ready for her denial, her excuses, her attempts to manipulate me into feeling sorry for her. That evening, I sit at home, going through the motions of dinner while the storm of emotions rages inside me. My phone buzzes with a message from Lena. Have you spoken to her since the confrontation? I reply, not yet. Planning to after Derek talks to her. Be careful. She might try to twist things around. I scoff at her message. I won't let her manipulate me. I know the truth. Later that night, as I lay in bed, I hear my phone ding again. This time it's a notification from Agatha. My heart skips a beat as I see her name light up the screen. Can we talk? Please. I can feel my pulse quicken. The moment of truth has arrived, and I know this conversation will set the stage for what's to come. I respond, yes. Meet me at our usual spot at 7 p.m. As I prepare for our meeting, I realize that this is my chance. I can confront her again, and this time I'll be ready. I'll make her see just how deep the betrayal runs. When the clock strikes 7, I arrive at the park where we used to walk together, the sun setting behind the trees, casting long shadows over the path. I see her waiting on a bench, her expression a mixture of anxiety and guilt. Daniel, she says, her voice shaky as I approach. Agatha, I reply, my tone cold. Let's get straight to the point. I know you saw me with Derek, she begins, but I cut her off. Save it. You don't need to pretend anymore. Just tell me why. Her eyes widen, and she takes a step back. It's not what you think. Don't lie to me, I snap, my patience wearing thin. You've already betrayed me once. I don't need more of your games. Agatha bites her lip, glancing around as if seeking an escape. I didn't want to hurt you. I never meant for it to go this far. But it did, didn't it? I press. And now you have to face the consequences. I want the truth, Agatha. How do you feel about Derek? She hesitates, her gaze dropping to the ground. I don't know. He makes me feel alive. Alive? Is that what you call it? Throwing away everything we've built for a thrill? Her face flushes, and I can see tears welling in her eyes. I made a mistake. I was confused. Confused? Or just selfish? I challenge, feeling the walls closing in. You need to understand that I won't stand for this. I won't let you manipulate me anymore. She raises her head, her expression shifting from guilt to defiance. You don't own me, Daniel. I'm my own person. No, you're my wife. Or at least, you were until you chose him over me. The weight of my words hangs heavy in the air, and for a moment, silence reigns. I can see the realization dawning on her face, this isn't just a conversation, it's the reckoning she feared. Daniel, please, she pleads, her voice cracking. I never wanted to hurt you. I take a step closer, my voice low and firm. It's too late for apologies, Agatha. I want you to think long and hard about what you've done and how it affects everyone around you. The pain you've caused isn't something you can just brush off. With that, I turn on my heel and walk away, leaving her standing there, a picture of betrayal and regret. The intrigue of my plan lingers in the air, and as I walk into the dusk, I feel a sense of purpose settle over me. This is only the beginning of her reckoning. I won't stop until she fully grasps the weight of her actions. Tomorrow, everything changes. The air hangs heavy with anticipation as I prepare for the final confrontation. My emotions are a whirlwind of anger and resolve. I can't let Agatha get away with her betrayal any longer. I've confronted her, exposed her lies, and now it's time to finish what I started. After our last meeting, I've been plotting my next move. I want to ensure that both Agatha and Derek feel the full weight of their actions. They think they can play with my heart without consequences, but I'm ready to show them just how wrong they are. I sit in my car, parked discreetly outside Derek's house. The sun is beginning to set, casting an orange hue across the sky, but inside me, the darkness is brewing. I glance at my watch. It's almost time for them to meet again. I can't let this chance slip away. As the minutes tick by, my mind races. I pull out my phone and send Lena a quick message, "Tonight's the night. I'm going to make them pay." Her response is immediate. "Be careful. This can get messy." "Messy is what I'm counting on," I reply, steeling myself for what's to come. Finally, I see Derek's car pull into the driveway. My heart races as I watch him step out, a casual smile on his face. He doesn't realize that tonight, the tables have turned. I wait a moment before following him inside, slipping quietly through the door he's left ajar. The dim light from the living room casts shadows on the walls as I creep through the house, listening for sounds of laughter or whispers. I hear them before I see them, Agatha's voice, sweet and playful, mixed with Derek's low chuckle. My blood boils, but I take a deep breath, focusing on the task at hand. As I move closer, I can make out their silhouettes through the partially closed blinds. They're sitting on the couch, their bodies angled toward each other, an intimacy that stings like salt in a fresh wound. I can't hold back any longer. "Enjoying your little rendezvous?" I burst through the door, my voice sharp and filled with venom. Agatha gasps, her eyes wide with shock. "Daniel! What are you doing here?" Derek jumps up, a mix of surprise and fear flickering across his face. "Man, this isn't what it looks like," he stammers. "Isn't it?" I challenge, stepping further into the room, my anger palpable. "You're having an affair with my wife." "It's exactly what it looks like." Agatha stands, her expression shifting to one of defiance. "You don't get to barge in here and make accusations. You have no idea what I've been going through." "Going through?" I scoff. "You mean you've been having fun while I've been left in the dark? You've made your choices, and now you'll face the consequences." "Daniel, please, let's talk about this," she pleads, her voice trembling. "Talk? About what? How you threw away our life for a fling. You think I'm going to let you manipulate me with tears and excuses?" Derek tries to intervene, stepping between us. "You need to calm down, man. This doesn't need to escalate." I ignore him, my eyes locked onto Agatha's. "You thought you could have it all, me and him, but that's not how this works." Suddenly, I lunge forward, grabbing Derek by the collar. "You think you can just waltz in and take what's mine? I'm done with both of you." Agatha gasps, her hands shaking as she tries to pull me away. "Stop. You're making this worse." "Worse? It can't get any worse than the betrayal you've committed." I shout, throwing Derek back against the wall. He stumbles but quickly regains his footing, looking at me with a mix of fear and defiance. "Daniel, don't do this," he warns, raising his hands defensively. I step back, taking a deep breath to calm my racing heart. You both need to understand the impact of your choices. Agatha, you've shattered my trust, and Derek, you've violated our marriage. Maybe you should have paid more attention to her, Derek snaps, his anger rising. You think you're the only one who's hurting? I laugh, a dark, humorless sound. You have no idea how much I've suffered. But now, I'll make sure you both understand what betrayal really feels like. With that, I pull out my phone and snap a picture of the two of them together, their faces a mixture of fear and disbelief. This is just the beginning. I'll make sure everyone knows what you've done, Agatha. You wouldn't, she gasps, her voice cracking. Try me, I reply, my tone icy. I'll expose you for who you really are, a liar, a cheat, and a coward. You'll lose everything. Daniel, please, I never meant for it to go this far, she says, desperation seeping into her voice. I thought I could make it work with you both. I just wanted to feel alive again. Alive? I retort, anger flaring again. You're nothing but a coward hiding behind your lies. As the tension escalates, I can feel the darkness wrapping around me, urging me to take it one step further. This isn't just about revenge, it's about making them feel the pain they've caused me. In a sudden rush, I shove Derek out of the way and close the distance between Agatha and me. You don't get to cry for sympathy now, Agatha. You made your choice. Daniel, don't do this, she cries, her voice rising in panic. But I'm already moving, my hands gripping her shoulders as I lean in close. I'll give you one last chance. Tell me how you really feel about Derek. She stares at me, her expression a mix of fear and defiance. I care for him, but I never wanted to hurt you. I thought you'd understand. Understand? I laugh bitterly. You think I'd ever understand this betrayal? You're pathetic. I shove her back, causing her to stumble. I'm done playing games. I'll ruin you both. With that, I storm out of the house, leaving them in stunned silence. As I drive away, my heart races with adrenaline. I'm filled with a sense of empowerment, knowing that I have the upper hand. The next morning, I wake up early, my mind racing with plans. I gather evidence, screenshots, and photos, everything I need to expose their affair. I prepare a post for social media, crafting a narrative that will leave no doubt about their betrayal. Sometimes, the people you trust the most are the ones who will hurt you the deepest. Today, I'm sharing the truth about my wife and her lover. As I hit post, a rush of satisfaction washes over me. It feels good to reclaim my power, to let the world see Agatha for who she really is. Within minutes, notifications start flooding in. Comments from friends and family express shock and disbelief. I feel a twisted sense of satisfaction as I watch their reputations crumble. Agatha's phone must be blowing up with messages, but I won't answer her calls. I won't give her the chance to manipulate me again. I've taken my revenge, and it feels incredible. A few hours later, my phone buzzes with a message from Lena. Are you okay? I saw the post. I'm better than okay. They've been exposed for what they really are. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself, she replies. But be careful. This could escalate. I don't care, I type back. I've lost everything. Let them feel the consequences. As I sit back and watch the chaos unfold, I know this is the end of my old life. Agatha and Derek will never be able to look at each other the same way again, knowing the truth is out there. And as for me, I'm ready to move on, to rebuild my life without the weight of betrayal hanging over me. I've learned a hard lesson about trust and love, but now, I'm free. Free from the lies, free from the pain, and ready to start anew. The road ahead may be uncertain, but one thing is clear, I will never allow myself to be deceived again. With that realization, I close the door on my past, ready to embrace the future.